Good morning, everybody. This is Scott in a Shot live from Gridley, California. I just woke up. I literally just woke up, people. And since this is Scott in a Shot, I will take a shot because I'm watching a little bit of the news here right out of the gate. And I'm really disgusted in what I see in this country. I'm really disgusted. We're 250 years old this year, people. Shot to the United States of America. So, in 250 years, where have we come? Where have we come as a nation? Where do we end up at? Here we are. We're watching the Democrats whine and cry about every little thing that Donald Trump does. They stand for nothing. Here's what they stand for. They stand for whatever Donald Trump doesn't endorse. That's what they stand for. We've got dumbed down, people. We have gotten dumbed down to where we're so stupid. Where we've gotten after 250 years as a nation, really. Where are the Democrats at on trying to help this country and the world, since the world looks at us as the beacon of mankind? Where are we at? We're at a place that's blowing my mind. We got a college protester, which his name is Muhammad Khalil, and he goes on these campuses, mainly Columbia, and he's from. Here's the catcher. He's from Palestine. Whoa, he's a Palestinian refugee. Wow, who didn't know that? I mean, so we let a Palestinian refugee come over here on a green card, and he gets his green card, and we allow him to start up riots on college campuses. They keep kids from going to school because of all their rioting and all the things they have going on in these campuses with their protests. They're protesting, the Israels for defending themselves. If I remember right, on October 7th, the Israelis were sitting there minding their own business. They're at a music festival, and these little worms clipped the fence, went under the fence with a bunch of automatic weapons, guns, and they murdered and raped women and children and killed innocent bystanders, men, women, and children. And so they defended themselves, and they're the bad guy. They're the bad guy. They're the bad guy. If you listen to this, Muhammad Khalil, like I said, people, you can't keep living in the past, but America is living in the past. We're not even living in the past anymore. We're living in some fucking utopia that the Democrats see for themselves, where they have a bunch of terrorists partying. They're partying with terrorists. They're partying with a bunch of transgender loving wannabes. I mean, they're partying with a bunch of homosexuals that can't find their way. They're partying with a bunch of guys that want to go into girl sports and whip their ass. I mean, what kind of society is the Democratic Party trying to create? It's a party of weirdness. I mean, everybody knows what weird is, people. I mean, there's always been homosexuals. There's always been agitators. There's always been that. But these people are on steroids now. It's gone into the government of the United States. It's affected the government, half our government, which is the Democratic Party. It's affected them like a disease, like COVID. It's almost like they didn't want to let COVID go, so they're gonna continue the disease with their dissent. They're going to continue the disease of this country with their dissent on everything that Donald Trump advocates for, all the policies he's trying to put into action. I mean, what happened to this country in the last 250 years? To me, it was just a regular growth cycle, like it would be with a kid. But to the Democrats, man, they're fucked up in the head over it, man. They're all fucked up. They seem to think that they're on the chopping block. Nobody's getting their heads cut off, people. Nobody's getting their heads cut off. Nobody's getting executed. And honestly, there's some things I think they should be. We have a country of laws and a constitution, people, and we've allowed the Democratic Party to infiltrate that area in a way that's unhealthy for this country. It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy for this country to be fighting over bullshit. I mean, this Khalil, he overstepped his bounds when it comes to being a green card holder. And I love people on green cards. I've known there's an old man that used to live next to me forever. His name was fucking Kai. He's from the Netherlands. He had a green card. He's a person here that had an occupation. He's a cabinet maker. He's a cabinet maker. An old man. He builds cabinets for schools. He goes in when they build a new school or a new building, and he goes in there and he builds all the custom cabinets that go in that building. I mean, that's the kind of people we want here. Why is that Khalil here? He came to college and he went to Columbia. He got a degree, And with that degree, he decided to protest the government, our government, for having our allies' backs, which is Israel. I mean, people, I've been saying this a long time. There's two kinds of world. There's two worlds we live in. There's the world that you live in your home, your family, and all the surrounding areas, and there's the world that we live in when it comes to foreign adversaries and the world scene. And when it comes to the world scene, we can't be having that crazy shit because the rest of the world doesn't get it, except for England and all these countries that are fucking so DEI, holding on to DEI and transgenderism. They love it. They love this Green New Deal that even though nobody's the green, you know what Donald Trump calls that the Green New Scam. People, I'm gonna tell you why he calls it the Green New Scam. Is because everybody in the world is adjusting their emissions out that go, emissions when it comes to electrical, when it comes to fossil fuels out of the atmosphere. But what it doesn't do, it doesn't commit the people that really need it, like China and India. China and India are the two biggest countries in the world. They pollute most of the world. They have the majority of the population of the world between those two countries. You got 1 billion, 2 billion people in China, 1 billion, 2 billion people in India, and in the rest of the world, you have 1 billion people. You have 4 billion people in one and two countries, and the other 2 billion is spread out between a bunch of other little countries. But they're not on board with it. These people don't want to be on board with it. They shit in little mud hut in little holes in the ground still. They're trying to become number one at no matter what the cost is. Now we can't stop that. We can't stop that. If you can't stop it, then what do? I mean, we either go to war or we try to come to terms with it like an adult. You know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about here in America now, 250 years of our anniversary, and we got people in the streets protesting for a fucking pro-Hamas terror organization, and his name is Muhammad Khalil. He needs to be kicked the fuck out of here along with his American wife and his kids, because you don't remember the Democrats? You don't separate families. We're not going to separate families. We're gonna deport them and get them out of here. And I hope it keeps going through. I hope Donald Trump stops listening to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has already paid off and bought off too when they allowed that Jackson lady on there. Why don't we just let AOC go on the Supreme Court too? Why don't we let that fucking Jasmine Crockett go on there too? Two fucking morons. And I don't care what race they're from, people. I don't care. A moron is a moron is a moron. Whether you're white, black, Mexican, Oriental, you are a fucking moron. These two people are morons. What kind of government will stay in power? It will keep their power. The world is separated, is broke up into power, people. Every country has a little bit of power. And then you got some countries that have a lot of power. Well, we really can't put people in office that are going to give away our power. The Democrats honestly, they want to go to war with Trump. They want to go to war with Russia, but they don't want to go to war against the real threats to this country. And the real threats of this country are within, people. They're within this country with all the DEI shit they've done over the last bunch of years, over the transgender rights. I mean, they have the right to be a freak. I mean, yeah, you have the right to be a freak, but where we drew the line at was when you're trying to bring your freakism into my home. I don't want to hear about a guy wanting to suck another guy off. I don't want to be into with girls getting on girl. I don't want to be part of that. That's a part of my party in life that it's there for a like sex for 1 minute and then it's gone. And then I want to hear real solutions from real people that keep us all, safe. You know what I mean? You know what, people? The world's going to get all crazy here soon. Scott and a shot. And our freedoms are going to be gone. Sooner or later, there's going to be adjustment in the government order, and all these governments around the world. They're going to adjust the power, and we're going to see where the United States is at. I would like to think the United States is looked kindly upon by other nations because of our way of living, not because we're forcing things onto them, not because we're telling them we'll give them money if they agree with transgender rights. I want it to be on a level playing field. And that means if you want to be that way, be that way. But don't push it onto me. I don't want to hear about it. But anymore, I mean, you got this Jasmine Crockett, the new head of the Democratic Party, right? Her and AOC. Watch how far that gets that party. People, we're watching self implosion on the Democratic side. They're imploding because they don't get it. They don't realize that most of this country has woke up and said, we're tired of hearing about this weird stuff. If you want to be such, then be such. But don't expect me to vote on it, want to hear about it all the time, and give a shit about it too much. Nobody gave a shit about me being in love with this girl over here or being in love with this girl over here. No, I don't give a shit about you being in love with some dude or wanting to become a dude or a girl becoming a dude or a dude becoming a girl. I don't want to hear about it. What's wrong with that? I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about it. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm buzzing this morning. I'm taking a couple shots right now. I'm going to take a hit too because these people are freaking me out, man. Oh, third fire. Excuse me. My point I'm trying to make, people, is 250 years we've been in a country, and what have we gotten from it except a bunch of weirdness? You're always going to have that, though, people. You're always going to have it in every government, every society. We have to fight back against it. I mean, you give people an inch, you take a mile. You give a homo an inch, they want the whole shebang. You know what I mean? They don't want to just kiss you; they want to fuck you. They want the whole shebang. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I'm sorry, I have a problem with the homo community right now, with the homosexual community. I do. I mean, I don't see them standing up in numbers protesting this boys and girls sports. I mean, I don't see them protesting fucking transgenderism. Why can't you just be a happy little homo? I mean, I'm a happy little hetero. You be a happy homo. I'm a happy hetero. Go do your thing and leave us alone. I mean, what's wrong with that? And Jasmine Crockett trying to become the head of the Democratic Party. Who wants to sit there and listen to that dumb bitch? I'm not going to. And this isn't a black thing. This isn't a white thing. This isn't a brown thing. It's not a yellow thing. She is a dumb bitch. I mean, come on, brothers. You're telling me you're not listening to that dumb bitch going, shut the fuck up. She's trying to take your power away from you as being a man. You let that woman take your power away. She thinks he's some kind of tough dude. I mean, I've never known one tough guy that wants to hear some tough girl talk her shit without him putting her in place. If you want to be a man, then you die and be reborn or something, I guess, because you're a woman. And honestly, when it comes to fighting, I don't want to hear women fighting about nothing. Women are supposed to keep the men calm down. I'm a Christian. Men are men and women are women, and women are fucking right here. There it is. I don't care if you like my fucking show or not. Women need to shut the fuck up and go be ladies. Let the men be weird and let the ladies be ladies. What's wrong with a lady being a lady? I don't want to see some woman fucking recon badass. I don't want to see some woman who thinks she's some dude who's going to come try to tell me what to do. I got to deal with a lot of men in my life. I am a man. I'm a real man. I was born a man. I'm a real man. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear some woman trying to come up to me and be my superior when I got to deal with my whole life. All men that are listening to me right now understand what I'm talking about. All men have to sit there and go through life worrying about these fucking predators that are out there. They're not just predators for women. They're predators for other men too. But do you think I want to see some woman think she's a man come take over my sport? Come take over my train of thought? No. And vice versa. I don't want to see vice versa. I want ladies to be ladies. I want men to be men. I mean, what is wrong with that? How is that so wrong? Is that why the world's failing? Because a woman can't be a woman and a man can't be a man and some should be different? Is that why the world's failing? I don't think this world's failing right now, people, because a man actually thinks he's a woman or a woman thinks he's a man, and that's why the whole world's fucking in under the threat of destruction always. No. Men are men, women are women, and that's how I feel about it. This transgender thing's got me on one. As a man, I don't want to see no woman try to fucking talk to me like I'm a man. You know what I'm saying? I love women. I want them to be the calm place I go to when I'm trying to calm down from getting into it with another man. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't want it. I don't want men on all sides of me, and I don't want to hear from some dude who thinks he's a girl. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because they don't matter. These people do not matter. That's my point right here. If you're transgender, then you do not matter. You don't matter. You can't even figure out yourself. And you're wanting us to help you figure out yourself through surgery, through hormone blockers. How is that even cool? I mean, if anybody can't even think about that like a regular adult, then I don't understand where you're coming from. I don't. I don't know where you're coming from. And I don't want to learn about where you're coming from or hear about it or talk about it or debate it or vote on it. You know what I'm saying? Aliens are driving by this planet. They're not worried about getting robbed. They're worried about getting fucking transformed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so we need to stop it, people. I mean, come on. 250 years later, American citizens since the beginning of America, 250 years ago, men are trying to become women, or women are trying to become men. Our forefathers are fucking rolling over, going, "What the fuck just happened? What the fuck just happened, man?" They don't get it. They don't know, and they shouldn't. I don't get it. I don't even want to try to get it. You know, when it comes to this homosexual movement, I don't give a shit. If you go do what you want to do, but just don't let me hear about it. I want to see it. Knock yourself out. If I hear about it, I still won't be mad. I won't be mean to you. But once you start putting it on my TV, in our schools, in our government, and we're voting for it, then I got a problem with it. You understand? You get what I'm saying? Do you understand where I'm coming from? I mean, it's not that hard to understand. And you women should be the same. What kind of woman wants to live her whole life being her thumb under a man, to have a woman become a man and put their thumb over? I mean, you get what I'm trying to say, right? I mean, if you watch my whole podcast, you're not just taking me out of context. You get what I'm saying, right? I mean, we all have our own problems. Women have their problems of being born women, and men have their problems being born men. It is what it is. It comes to the territory. Take the heat or get out of the fucking kitchen. I don't even know what that get out of the kitchen means, because everybody's in the kitchen all the time. You know what I mean. Anyway, this is Scott in the Shot. I'm just blabbering this morning because I just don't give a shit. I mean, I watch all this shit on TV all the time. I'm sitting here wanting to take another shot. You guys, this whole new society is weirding me out. When a society doesn't know if they're a man or a woman, our government doesn't know what the fuck's going on. We allowed terrorists to come and infiltrate our country and start problems with all of our children. Our children. You know, there's 250 something countries out there. 250. I don't know what it is. I don't know, but it's a lot. It's over 200. And we're worried about our kids being exactly like another kid. Let's just be Americans. Let Guatemalans be Guatemalans. Let Russians be Russians. Let Chinese be Chinese. Let's let everybody be everybody. Have your own culture, and we will only deal with the ones who want to come at us straight with trade agreements and things that make sense. But we cannot fucking start off relationships with anybody, with ourselves, with anybody in the rest of the world. We don't even know who the fuck we are. Yeah, I'm a heterosexual man, and I'm toxic. And if you're not a toxic male, if you see me, you're a little femi, I don't care. I've had lots of femi friends, but stop trying to become a woman. And a woman, you stop trying to be a man, because you can't ever be a man. A woman can't ever be a man can't ever be a woman. A woman can never become a man. What is so hard for that? I mean, not a real one. I mean, I'm sure someday they're going to be able to figure out the surgeries and all that to figure this shit out. But it's not going to change the hormones. It's not going to change. There's a few things that we're never going to figure out. I hope we don't. Because if that's the truth, if we figure out everything, doesn't that mean we're God? Are we really God? I mean, are we really God? Because once we figure out everything, once we can jump over to different sexes, once we can do whatever we want, then aren't we God? I don't know what to think about that, man. That's deep right there. That's some deep thought right there. I mean, if we are not God, are we not the devil? I think heaven and earth is right here on this planet right now, people. It is what we make of it. It's about people coming to the middle, understanding that we have normality lines. You can be weird. Everybody's born different. You know, weird to me is not weird to the person who's weird because we're all born different. You get what I'm saying? I mean, so we just need to figure it out, people. I mean, everybody's weird, everybody's different, but we need to figure out at least after 250 years, 200, we're digressing, man. We don't know if we're a man or woman or a caveman. I mean, what's really going on? All right, man. This has gotten a shot. Just something to think about as I fucking just woke up, jumped out of bed, had a wake and bake, and a couple shots, and that's